Finally. You guys haven't, Comic-Con hasn't really officially started for you guys yet. Are you just getting going, getting warmed up?
I started my interviews at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, still, but it's day one, right? You got
oh, no, excuse me. I started last night. So.
Oh, yeah. I bet you started last night.
Yeah.
I can't remember when you started. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to? Like what's the big reveal that's going to happen this weekend? Anybody know? Like, what is it?
The big reveal?
I don't know. Is there something that's going to be?
I think Fox said that there's a surprise movie they were going to announce.
Oh, okay.
It's already leaked that it's probably an X-Force spin-off from the X-Men. So
I got you. There's always something.
They always try to reveal something, but I don't think Marvel is revealing anything.
You don't. Everything I'm hearing points towards them revealing something out of that.
No, it's because they have Marvel has that Disney convention in 2 weeks.
That's what Disney's
and Marvel's not going to reveal any comic book stuff at Comic-Con or just the same stuff. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael's back. And anyway, I could have played the same dumb joke if I'd been ready. God.
Next time, I'll go pee again.
And that's why it sucks. Okay. All right, now we can start. Now we can make it official.
Okay. Let's start off figuring out. Are you a sidekick? What are you?
Okay. Well, I'm Richard Speight Jr. Is my name, and I am a sidekick. But I'm not the sidekick. I think you already had Rob at this table.
Yes.
He's the sidekick. I'm a sidekick. I'm another past his prime, failing, once great sidekick to a superhero who's also looking for work like Rob, and we bump into each other on the job hunt circuit and realize that we can't help each other at all.
I'm Michael Weithorn. I directed the film and produced it along with Rob. This is our coming out party here today.
It's your debutante ball.
This is it.
Well, the one thing that jumps out is this is like a dream cast. I mean, this is like the funniest people I've seen.
It's amazing. Rob and I did a film a few years ago that Rob was the lead in, and we remained friends. And he wrote this, and I loved it, and I said let's make it together, and said all right, let's get into casting. And I knew Rob has been around and had a lot of friends who were very talented and successful people. But as it came together, I was just blown away, and Richard was incredibly helpful as well. I think Richard helped us get Ron Livingston and a couple other people. And I just, as the cast was coming together, I just oh my God! I was prepared to do this, and we'll get the best people we can. But it was just such a thrill to me to say, wow, I'm directing this small little film that we're making for nothing, and have this cast that, is just some of the great talents in comedy today.
So since this is such a small budget, and it's also 30 minutes, and it's it's kind of a superhero type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Are you put these guys in through the record on their own stunts and all this kind of stuff?
Well, okay.
You could answer that.
My
right?
sequence was not stunt heavy. No. I can say the great thing about it is because of the concept of the script and the way they did it is it's about guys who are Rob's character who's just shy of being able to do anything that so everywhere there should be a stunt, Rob's character is basically not able to quite cut the mustard. So really, anyone can fail at stunts, and I feel like that was sort of we didn't get hurt because we weren't supposed to be successful. That's the idea.
But I think Ike would jump off a building if you asked him to.
He probably would have. He's just the most accommodating guy I've ever met in my life. But it was not a stunt-heavy film. It was not part of the joke of the film or conceit of the film is probably a better word, is that even though these people are in the superhero world, their lives are very mundane. Most of the times we see them, they're just kind of a scene in a laundromat, and there's just all these. There was only one sort of actiony sequence at the very beginning. And we had Ron and another actor and Rob on a precarious rooftop that I'm sure if it was a big budget feature, all the safety regulations, we never would have been able to do what we did. But nobody died, so it all turned out okay.
If this were to go to series, would the cast pretty much remain in place? Is that expectation?
Rob would be the constant, and the idea would be that the situation would allow for a constantly rotating group of people. Part of the appeal, part of the pitch that we're making is that we could have every week there could be people that fans know and want to see on the show, and different every week. So yes, we hope that everybody who was in the film would be in the show, but also constantly bringing in new people each week, because part of the series would be that he's out there in the world trying to find a new sidekick job or a regular job or whatever. So he's constantly coming in contact with different people.
So there's the potential for them to not only for Rob to know they're looking for more superhero work, but also regular day-to-day jobs, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of potential.
Well, the allegory that Rob based it on is an actor who is kind of a little, past his prime, and so some actors, not Rob, but some actors, have to augment their normal acting work with, waitering, so it'd be a little. He's sort of in that mode in his life in the series, if it ever happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Watching the trailer, I really, and this is a major compliment, I had almost like the Tick live action series vibe from it, that kind of, you're not focusing on the battles, you're focusing on what happens when they're not fighting all the time
yeah.
type. And that's the impression I get, is kind of what you guys are going for, is that character.
Very much so.
I think the Tick is a great analogy actually for the piece. I thought that when I read it, because the Tick is sort of, what makes the Tick funny is what you said. It's the stuff in between the events and the characters. It's a character. Tick is a character-driven piece, and this is a character-driven piece. And the comedy's, gleaned from those situations that are not the crime-fighting part, but the actual humanity.
Was there a lot of improvisation?
There was a fair amount. There's with Rob and Richard, there was a scene where they was scripted and then they just kept going, and there was one take, and we have a little bit at the end credits, which we may not even get to show today, but they did this incredible runabout, because the joke was that because they were both sidekicks, neither one wanted to be the first one to get up from the table. After you, no, you lead, I'll follow, and they're just frozen there. And it just,
That was a fun bit. That was awesome. Yeah. But that's the kind of thing that you get when you because obviously they have a tight schedule.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of wiggle room for goofing around, except for the fact that Rob brought in people that he already knew. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't that awkward so how do you work? How do I work? Rob and I worked together. We were both on Supernatural and do conventions for Supernatural all the time, where he and I are live mic improvising in front of an audience constantly. So we're so used to each other's sense of humor and timing that we could sit there and could have done it all day, and I'm sure that was how it was with most of his scenes.
Yeah, there was one thing where Ike Barinholtz and Jordan Peele, have a confrontation and are yelling at each other, and it was just, they just want to keep shooting takes, because they were just, every time it was just something new and crazy and funny. We managed to get a little piece of it in there, but most of it is just sort of on the cutting room floor. But it was just so much fun.
Bonus material for the DVD.
Exactly.
Well, I like the theme there, because about reinventing yourself, because I've had to do that at least twice in my adult life, and I said I'm 50 and I have to I'm scared of doing it again, but I think this that theme speaks to me as an adult.
The film, even though the trailer is very pop, the film has its slow and human and melancholy kind of moments in it. Are you going to get a chance to see it now? You
guys going to go into this rating?
But anyway. So yeah, I think we do service to that in a not just a broadly comedic way. Hopefully, people will feel that way.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess we're being.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys enjoy the film.
Keep looking at your, is a Nerd Reactor approved?
Nerd Reactor approved, yeah.